Never in history has the path of manhood been so obscured, so criticized, and yet so desperately needed. The modern American man lives in an age of contradiction. He is told that strength is dangerous, ambition is selfish, authority is toxic, and discipline is outdated, yet he is still expected to provide, to protect, to endure, and to succeed in a world that offers little guidance and even less forgiveness. This confusion has not arisen by accident. When a society loses clarity about the role of its men, it produces generations that are restless, resentful, and uncertain of their place. Many men feel invisible. Others feel disposable. Some retreat into apathy, while others drift into anger without direction. What is missing is not opportunity, but purpose. Masculinity at its core is not domination or aggression. It is responsibility. It is the willingness to carry weight, to endure hardship without complaint, and to build something that lasts beyond personal comfort. When masculinity is reduced to caricature or condemned outright, men are robbed of the very framework that once gave their lives meaning. The attack on masculinity is not always loud. Often it is subtle. It appears in lowered expectations, in the mockery of discipline, in the celebration of weakness as virtue, and in the discouragement of ambition. Young men are told to soften, to suppress their instincts, to avoid competition, and to apologize for wanting more. The result is not harmony, but stagnation. A man without direction becomes easy to control. A man without standards becomes easy to replace. A man without purpose becomes a danger to himself. Yet history shows that every era that tries to suppress masculine strength eventually pays a heavy price. Civilizations are not built by comfort-seeking, but by men who accept hardship willingly. Progress is not made by passivity, but by effort, risk, and endurance. The modern man must therefore reclaim his identity, not through rebellion, but through mastery. The first battle is internal. Before wealth, before status, before respect, a man must conquer his own mind. Distraction is the new addiction. Comfort is the new cage. Endless entertainment, constant outrage, and digital validation have replaced effort, patience, and craftsmanship. Many men are exhausted, not from work, but from noise. Self-discipline has become a rare trait, which makes it extraordinarily valuable. The man who can govern his impulses already stands above the crowd. Discipline in sleep, diet, training, finances, and thought creates momentum that compounds quietly over time. Physical strength still matters, not for vanity, but for confidence and resilience. A strong body reinforces a strong mind. Training teaches delayed gratification, pain tolerance, and consistency. A man who neglects his body weakens his will. A man who strengthens it sharpens his discipline. But physical strength alone is not enough. The modern world rewards economic competence. Wealth is not evil. It is leverage. It buys freedom, security, and choice. A man without financial stability lives at the mercy of others' decisions. To be respected, one must be useful, and usefulness in today's world is tied to skill, value creation, and reliability. Men are not taught how to pursue wealth responsibly. They are shown fantasies of fast money or shamed for ambition altogether. True wealth is built through patience, learning, and long-term thinking. It requires mastery of a craft, service to others, and the willingness to delay gratification while others chase immediacy. Respect follows competence. Not words, not image, not outrage. Competence. A respected man keeps his word. He shows up on time. He improves continuously. He does not blame the world for his position. He studies it, adapts, and moves forward. He does not seek attention. Attention follows him naturally because of what he builds. One of the greatest dangers facing modern men is victimhood thinking. While injustices exist, living in a permanent state of grievance destroys agency. Power is not gained by complaint. It is gained by capability. The man who internalizes responsibility gains control. The man who externalizes blame surrenders it. Another silent crisis is loneliness. Many men lack brotherhood. They lack mentors. They lack environments that demand excellence. Isolation weakens resolve. Men grow stronger when surrounded by standards, challenge, and accountability. A man must choose his associations carefully because he will inevitably become the average of the influences he tolerates. Purpose must extend beyond the self. Men who live only for pleasure deteriorate. Men who live for contribution endure. Responsibility to family, community, craft, or mission provides structure and meaning. A man who is needed is difficult to break. Modern society offers endless excuses to remain immature. It offers comfort without achievement, pleasure without effort, identity without accomplishment. Rejecting this path requires courage. It requires accepting discomfort voluntarily today to avoid regret tomorrow. Emotional control is another forgotten discipline. Strength does not mean suppression, but regulation. A man who is ruled by impulse is predictable and weak. A man who can remain calm under pressure becomes formidable. The ability to think clearly in chaos separates leaders from followers. Masculinity does not require cruelty. It requires standards. It requires boundaries. It requires the courage to say no to distractions, to bad habits, to social pressure, and to paths that lead nowhere. Becoming wealthy and respected is not about arrogance. It is about alignment. When a man aligns his actions with long-term goals, his habits with discipline, and his values with integrity, success becomes a byproduct. There will be setbacks. Failure is inevitable, but failure is not the enemy. Quitting is. Each loss carries instruction. Each hardship builds resilience. Men are forged through resistance, not comfort. The modern man must accept that no one is coming to save him. This is not a message of despair, but of empowerment. When responsibility is fully accepted, freedom follows. When excuses are abandoned, progress begins. Respect is earned slowly and lost quickly. It is built through consistency, not performance. People trust men who are stable, predictable in values, and relentless in effort. The future belongs to men who can think independently, work diligently, and remain grounded amid chaos. Not loud men, not angry men, capable men. Masculinity is not under threat because it is weak. It is under threat because it is powerful. And power, when uncontrolled, frightens those who benefit from passivity. So build yourself quietly, strengthen your body, sharpen your mind, master a skill, create value, accumulate resources, protect your time, guard your attention. Choose responsibility over resentment. Do not ask for respect. Become undeniable. In an age that rewards conformity, discipline is rebellion. In a culture that celebrates weakness, strength is resistance. In a society that avoids responsibility, ownership is power. The modern man who understands this does not complain about the world. He conquers his place within it. And in doing so, he restores not only his own life, but the foundation upon which strong societies are built. One of the greatest dangers facing modern men is not oppression, but comfort without merit. When a society removes the requirement to earn dignity, dignity collapses. When standards are lowered to avoid discomfort, excellence disappears. What replaces it is entitlement, expectation without effort. Comfort weakens men not because comfort is evil, but because unearned comfort erodes competence. A man who has never been tested does not know himself. He has not discovered his limits, nor learned how to push beyond them. Without struggle, confidence becomes fragile and identity becomes dependent on external approval. Past generations of men were forged by necessity. Survival demanded skill, endurance, and cooperation. Today, survival is often automatic, but meaning is not. When life no longer demands strength, strength must be chosen deliberately. This is why many men feel restless, anxious, and unfulfilled despite material abundance. Their instincts tell them they are capable of more, yet their environment encourages less. The result is internal conflict, a quiet frustration that has no outlet. The solution is not nostalgia, it is intentional difficulty. Men must reintroduce challenge into their lives voluntarily. Hard physical training, difficult goals, financial risk paired with discipline, responsibility that cannot be avoided. These forces restore balance. They sharpen focus and awaken dormant strength. A man who avoids difficulty today will face catastrophe tomorrow. A man who embraces difficulty today builds immunity against chaos. Modern men are under constant assault, not physically but mentally. Attention has become the most exploited resource on Earth. Endless content, outrage cycles, artificial crises, and digital stimulation fracture focus and drain energy. A distracted man is a weakened man. Focus is power. The ability to concentrate deeply on one objective separates builders from spectators. Men who reclaim their attention reclaim their agency. They stop reacting and start directing. This requires boundaries, limiting consumption, choosing silence over noise, training the mind to tolerate boredom long enough to produce something meaningful. Men must ask themselves a hard question. Is my attention serving my future or being sold to the highest bidder?